Good morning, my loves. Welcome back. So it's time for another new moon. This is the last new moon that we have this year. It's the new moon in Sagittarius, and that is always one of my favorite new moons because Sagittarius is such a fun sign, isn't it? Sagittarius, the Sagittarius energy within us is always the energy of expansion, right? The energy of growth and our bigger vision and where we are heading. This moon doesn't really make any major aspects. There is a quincunx between Uranus and this new moon, meaning the sun and the moon. And I don't want to ignore it because the quincunx can be really annoying. It's a really annoying aspect. It's one of those aspects where we can't really do much. It's just like learning to accept what is and then living your life. That is the quincunx aspect. The quincunx is not really something where you can rearrange something in a way where it then fits. It just doesn't fit, right? When we have a quincunx aspect, we bring together two elements that just don't gel. They don't gel. No matter what you do, they will not gel. But we can accept that we just see life so differently, and maybe we can find a way to coexist, right? It's all about learning to coexist. Let's talk about this a little later. I just want to hone in on the expansion factor in this new moon. Expanding your container. What does that mean, really? What does it mean? Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a New Year's resolution, right? You want to, I don't know, lose 5 pounds, or you want to exercise every morning, or you want to go to the gym. You know, all these ideas that people have at the beginning of the year, and then usually those don't last very long. And why don't they last very long? Why do New Year's resolutions, why don't they stick? Why are we just having such a hard time to really hold on to them or to really make them a thing? Well, it usually is a container issue. What's a container issue? Well, a container issue is an issue where we internally are not able to align to the goal we set outside of us, right? We have this wonderful idea of this, but the patterning, the unconscious patterning that we hold inside is not aligning to what we are desiring on the outside. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to start on the inside. We have to change and rearrange things inside of us and expand that container, because your inner container can't hold that outer vision that you have. So in order to hold that outer vision, you gotta, work on that container. And that can also mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. The way you do it, the way you go about it, what you need, do you need therapy? Do you need coaching? Do you need meditation? Do you need kind of a little bit of all of it? But the most important thing is that you start, that you do your inner work, right? We can also call it inner child healing. There's something inside of you that doesn't allow you to be that person on the outside that you want to be, because you're not that person on the inside. So you have to become that person on the inside first, that person that gets up every morning, does the thing, goes to the gym, or whatever it is for you, right? It can be something very superficial, or it can be something really, really deep and meaningful. It doesn't really matter at the end. The question is like, why is it not sticking? Why is it not holding? What do you need to rearrange within you? So inner work is a big topic when it comes to this new moon, because if you have that vision, right, it's beautiful to have a vision, right? Having a vision is the first step. Some people call it having a desire, right? Know your desires, know what you want. Know what you want is the first step. You need to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, how do you get there? What do you do? Are you just aimlessly kind of like floating through the universe? Which if that's your jam, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to have a goal, but let's say you want to do something with your life, but you just can't really focus in on your desire. You're not allowing yourself to have it, or to even consider it, or to even think about it, or to even like imagine that it is possible. Then, well, we have a problem there already, right? So we got to do the work on that end already. But let's say you have that that goal, that vision, that desire, and you're allowing yourself to have it, right? So you say, okay, I want that. That's what I want. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be. That's who I want to become. Yada yada yada. Now the next step is to see what comes up. Being that gentle observer. It's like, okay, so I want this. Now what's happening now? What's happening inside of me? What is moving, or what is not moving? And what are the limiting beliefs that come up? Because, I mean, they will. They will. I mean, obviously it depends on your goal, but the limiting beliefs will come up. Let's just stay with something superficial as, you want to lose 5 pounds. And that means you told yourself, well, now you've got to work out every morning at 5 o'clock. Now, is it really true that if you want to lose 5 pounds, you have to work out every morning at 5 o'clock? Is that really what you have to do? Or is there another way? Can you find another time? Can you find another way? Are you open to another way? Right? That is also what this new moon is trying to teach us, an openness, right? Sagittarius, the energy of openness. Are you open to seeing other perspectives? Are you open to seeing other ways? Because if you want to lose 5 pounds and you say, well, I can only achieve that if I get up every morning at 5 o'clock and do my workout, because then I have the kids and then I have the work and then I have all of this, you're already like in the energy of like, oh my God, this is too much. So maybe you can get yourself to do this for the first 2 weeks of the month, of the new year. But then what? What's going to happen then? It's just going to be like, oh, this is too much. This is draining. I don't care. I give up. That's usually what happens with people. Now, the idea here is to open up to other perspectives, to seeing things in different ways, right? Maybe you can do a workout at lunchtime one day, and another day you can do it in the evening, and maybe you do it once a week at 5 in the morning. But being flexible is part of your alignment process, right? Being flexible is part of aligning to what you want, because you need to make it work for you. It is not that you're not working for it. It works for you. So you have to make it work for you. What works for you? And what I also see very often with my coaching clients is that they don't allow themselves to see the other perspectives, to see the other ways. It's like, I don't even want to think about it because it's too much to think about it. I just don't want. It's like this blocking. And why are you blocking already? There is a reason for the blocking too. Are you overwhelmed? Are you too stressed? Or are you worried that you would actually have to change your life for that? Because let's face it, you will. You will. But you don't have to look at it from the perspective of, oh my God, I have to now change my life. You could look at it as, oh, I get to change my life. It's like that perspective shift. So let's just say with the losing 5 pounds. I know this is a very simple kind of goal. Simple. But some of you will say, oh, it's not so simple. But if you stay with that goal, and what does that mean for your life? What has to change and shift, right? Besides the workout, do you have to create new patterns? Do you have to create a new routine around it? Create new eating habits? That this is all part of the second step. And then from there, you have to actually repeat it. You have to make it a routine. You have to allow yourself to be in this energy long enough to embody it. Because if we just keep it a mental exercise, you have to think the thought and you have to do the action enough times for your body to recognize it as the new normal. I know we are not starting the new year yet, but I thought that was like a really nice example and a really beautiful way to look at this new moon, because of like the expansive potential, right? The expansion potential, like the bigness, the vision, the bigger vision. Where do I want to go? Well, you know, maybe you want to start the new year early, like set your intentions early and really start to understand what that actually means for you, and opening yourself up to seeing things a new way to then actually reach that goal or that resolution or whatever you want to call it in your life. And again, you know, maybe you have bigger goals and bigger resolutions than just losing 5 pounds. And by no means do I want to minimize the importance of losing 5 pounds for you, right? If that is really important to you, then by no means do I want to say, well, that's ridiculous. Whatever it is for you, though, allow yourself to see a different perspective, right? Don't just say, okay, I'm making this plan and I'm gonna do this every day and then that every day, and like, you know, have the flexibility to change things as you go as well. Like, allow room for inspired action. You heard me say this plenty of times in the past few months. Have a plan, but hold on loosely. Don't grab onto it. It's like, don't just like, oh, this is, get so attached to this plan and it has to function with this plan. Allow yourself the flexibility within it. Like, what actually works for you? Make it work for you, right? Because it works because you work it. It isn't working because it's just supposed to work. No, it is working because you work it. And you work it in the way it works for you. So now let's just real quick talk about this particular aspect that I was referring to earlier. So we have a quincunx between lovely Uranus and the sun and the moon, the new moon. What does that mean? Well, I already said that quincunx is an aspect that is quite annoying, like just annoying, because like we think, why is it like this when it doesn't make sense. It's like this, like, oh, they don't make sense. This person doesn't make sense to me. It's you know, we have the sun and the moon in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, and then we have Uranus in Taurus, which is an earth sign. And earth and fire is like, they really don't get each other. They don't get each other because they do things very, very differently. And the energy is expressing itself very, very differently. There's a steadiness to earth, and then there's a pushiness to fire, which earth is not really feeling. So we have this quincunx aspect where potentially we, you know, might be faced in the outer world with something that we find really annoying, like something that just does not work for us, something that is just like so inconvenient, right? It's like, oh my God, why this now? Why is this working in this way now and not in a different way? Oops, sorry. We're not having a good hair day today, but you know, this video is not about hair. And we have Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is in this quincunx, and when Uranus is in quincunx, oh God, Uranus is just this element of surprise, this element of coming around the corner. It's like that tornado that comes around the corner. You didn't really see it coming, you didn't expect it, but now it's here, and it's so quickly and so fast you can't even think. It's like, oh my God, what am I doing now? This is not work. This is just, and then whoop, it sweeps through, and you see it going, and then you look what's right in front of you, and then what's right in front of you is just chaos. And you're like, what am I going to do with this chaos now? And then the dust is settling, and you're like, okay, this wasn't convenient. I have to clean up now. But while you're cleaning up, you might find something. You might find a jewel, something you've been missing for a long time, and all of a sudden it shows up and you're like, oh, wow, I've been looking for you all this time. So what I'm trying to say here, there is this inconvenience factor that we experience on this new moon that might kind of like catch us by surprise. But once the dust settles, and once we kind of like get over the annoyance, once we realize, oh, it's fine, you know, that's just that's just how it is now. This just happened, and you know, there's nothing I can do about it. Getting neutral, I get neutral, I become neutral, I'm okay. From that place, I can now see things that I might not have seen before, find things that I have not found before, right? Because you clean up. It helps you clean up something, even though you know it wasn't even dirty, but now all of a sudden it's dirty, and now you have to clean up. And then you clean up, and you're like, hey, there's this ring I've been looking for all this time. So it is a new moon that might surprise you. It might take you by surprise, and it might take you by surprise in a very inconvenient way. In a very inconvenient way, but might find a jewel. And yeah, the other thing that I said before, allow yourself to see different perspectives. That's also like something that this aspect is, you know, teaching you, because you might have not cleaned in that area. So you might have not found that jewel, that ring, that whatever, you know, whatever it is that you've lost and you've been looking for a long time. But now we're forced to clean a bit more in certain areas, and all of a sudden there it is. So you're open to different perspectives, different corners of your house, of your apartment, of your, you know what I mean. This is just an analogy that you can use to maybe understand things a little better when it comes to your own life. And you know, maybe you can apply it in a certain way in your life. So all in all, this is a really beautiful moon. You know, again, there might be this annoyance factor coming in, but try to find a way to look at it from the perspective of neutrality and seeing a different perspectives. Like, what does it open up within you? You know, where does it make you more open to different options, different ways of being, different ways of living, different ways of approaching life? So have a beautiful new moon, and I see you in the next video. Bye.